All right. Good afternoon, evening, almost evening. It's your host, John, if this is a thing worthy of a host. And I'm here to play some Immaculate Grid. Hopefully do better than yesterday. Man, I was bad yesterday. Episode number 200, or rather, grid number 200. They did whatever it was. It was like 200 hits, 200 wins, and 200 strikeouts in a season. I usually struggle on 200 strikeouts. I was able to get all those. Um, but where did I struggle? So Rogers Hornsby for the Braves is who I went with for 200 hits. He was about 13 hits short in his one season as a Brave. He had a 387, but didn't have 200 hits. He missed some time due to injury. He also led the league in walks. So between those two things, didn't get there. I mean, Dazzy Vance, who I knew had pitched prolifically for the Dodgers in the 1920s, he didn't get his start until he was 31 years old. So he came just short of 200 wins. He had 197. So I didn't get that one either. So I get two misses, lost game yesterday. That's all right. I still got an episode out of it. And now I get to play again. That's the beauty of this game. You can just keep on playing. Sharing that. There's my failure. The rest of these were all right. I guess Richie Ashburn was kind of high, but it's all right. Hit and refresh. Let's go. Oh, we'll get some new one. Oh man, this is I think they're taking a little page out of crossover grid with some of these new ones. So we've got the Twins or Senators who are going to line up with the Yankees, Guardians slash Indians, and the Expos slash Nationals. And then we've got to get someone who's only played with one team for each of those. Man, that's going to be tricky. Oh, this is going to be a struggle. All right. Um, let's see. My boy Germany Schaefer works for these. Otis Nixon works for both of these. Um, Jeff Reardon will work down here. Let's see. What's another? LaTroy Hawkins will work here. Let's go with those three. Let's see how that does. LaTroy Hawkins, I remember him with the Twins, and he played briefly with the Yankees. He wore number 21, which was Paul O'Neill's number, and he was wearing 21 out of a tribute to Roberto Clemente. But Um, I guess Paul O'Neill was not a fan of seeing that number, but then again, the Yankees kind of soft retired his number. I believe they have since retired his number, but anyway, that's how I remember he played for both teams. Was also a Brewer, so I'm keeping that in my back pockets for some time. Hit and pound there. Cool. 1%. Okay. And let's get our boy Germany Schaefer. Don't think he's going to work for either of those other categories. Goes way low. And yeah, Otis Nix will be better than Jeff Reardon for that category. Cool. Um, so if the ERA category is like the others, this is sparkling water, by the way. Never drink an Immaculate Grid. Anyway, if the 300 ERA category is anything like the 300 batting average category, then you don't need a certain minimum number of uh innings pitched. Now, I believe Steve Sabathia had one season where he was at exactly three. I think it was 2011. Garrett Cole finished with a sub 3 ERA this season, so he will work. I believe Andy Pettit will work. David Cohn will work. I don't think Roger Clemens will work. I don't think Mike Mussina will work. Rivera would work as a classic example. Wetland would work. Rafael Soriano would work as long as it's no minimum innings count. Um, no minimum innings requirement. I just had to click on new and it told me that. Um, Dave Righetti will work then. And I'm sure there's someone who pitched like an inning for the Yankees and gave up no runs, and I just don't know who they are. But um, certainly Lefty Gomez will work. I think Jack Chesbo works. Um, Pretty sure Jeff Nelson will work. Wetland will certainly work. Wetland will also work at the bottom there. So maybe I do that. Um, it's the only one team. That's where, because I either have to go with a current player or if like remember someone else, or I go with someone who like played 1 year and was out, something like that. Ryan Zimmerman will be the most popular one down here. Probably Jose Ramirez, I think, will be the most popular choice here. But any current Guardian who hasn't played with another team, like young guys, will work there. And then I mean Yankees, pick your guy. Anthony Volpe will work there. Aaron Judge is probably going to be the most popular. But Mantle, DiMaggio will both work as well. Let's see over here. What do we think of Rafael Soriano? Goes .2 because I'm thinking the year I remember because Cashman was specifically like I didn't want to sign him. I was forced to sign him. Just not great leadership. Um, but he Rivera gets hurt and Soriano ended up saving over 40 games and having a sub 2 ERA. I think sub 2. Anyway, very good year. Um, I am gonna go John Wetland down here. Let's see how he does. Does a little bit better, .7. He also would have worked here. And then what do we think? I think I want to say Bob Wickman is going to work here. And I'm a big Bob Wickman fan. He was a Brewer. I think let's see. Bob Feller will work. Um, Jose Mesa would work. Mike Jackson would work for the 98 season. He was Jose Mesa's successor in the closer position. In fact, I'm going to go with him instead of Wickman because Wickman was closer for longer. Indians traded Richie Sexson to get him, so maybe Mike Jackson's just a little bit more obscure. Whoa, he's way more obscure. That was a good one. I didn't know that was going to be that good. I mean, like that's like the reason I came up with that was I came of age as a baseball fan, was reading the newspapers for up-to-date stats and everything in 1998 when I was 9 years old, and I remember Jackson being a lights out closer for Cleveland. Having just watched Jose Mesa blow the 1997 World Series, which I was the first World Series that I really watched, what was not in my memory at all because I hadn't really started watching baseball until 97 when I was 8. But I had no idea that Mesa had had his 1995 campaign where he was absolutely bonkers, like almost a sub 1 ERA with over 40 saves, that monstrous Indians team. Um, anyway, Jose Mesa is not going to work for only one team. I don't think any of those 90s Indians are going to work. Um, maybe Charles Nagy. I don't remember him playing anywhere else, but he might have. Bob Feller will work. I'm very confident on that one. I I want to say Joe Charbonneau, who I used recently, would work. I don't think he played elsewhere. Um, but I'm not 100% on that one. I'm thinking like Corey Snyder maybe, but again, I'm not sure. I mean, these guys might have popped around for a season. I'm very sure on Bob Feller. But I think that one would be somewhat popular. Um, and then I could also just go with like I could go with I guess Shane Bieber is another example. Jose Ramirez, any number of current Guardians players, but I'm not super up on their roster, unfortunately. Um, that young guy, Quan, he might be an interesting pick. Maybe better than Feller. How long? Here's a question. How long did Corey Snyder play for? And that's too long. He probably played somewhere else. This is the one that I can kind of cheat just by doing this. I think that's too long for Andre Thornton. What about Brooke? Brooke Jacoby. I think that's too long as well. So I'm not going to go with any of those people. I remain bullish on Bob Feller though. Let's see how let's see how good an answer that is. Oh, way too high. 22%. Okay. I thought for sure like there's probably a dozen-ish or so current Guardians who would work and or maybe a little bit less than that, but people who've never played for another team. So I kind of thought they would take up a bulk amount and then someone like Bob Feller would sneak in, but I was completely wrong on that. Um, also, I'm going to be honest, I don't know the current Nationals very well at all. This is where my wait list. So Zimmerman will work. I know that. Let's just see if we can get a Yankee. Let's see how Volpe does. I mean, you got well you've Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle will all work. Barrow will not work. Assuming all Negro League teams count in this equation, you're not going to get a player who played like Elston Howard, who played a little bit of Negro League time and then played, I think his entire. No, you know what? No, he did that wouldn't even work because I think he played for the Red Sox for a little bit. Um, but I'm just saying like people who've barely played. Volpe takes 4%. All right. Who the heck plays for the Nationals these days? Um, or who played for the Expos back in the day and then never played anywhere else. Hmm. This is embarrassing because here's the thing: the Nationals, because they're in a rebuilding mode, probably have 10 or 15 or so people who've never played for another team. But because I don't know the Nationals really well at all, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get a rare one. What I could go with, there's basically Ryan Zimmerman or Steven Strasburg will both work. Um, Here's one. How about did Danny Espinosa ever play anywhere else? Maybe? Oh man, that's a hard maybe. Good one. Good one, baseball reference. Good one. You're debuting new categories, you're throwing people off. I wish I knew the Nationals better. If I really just know the Brewers inside and out, and then I have sort of a casual understanding of most of the other good teams in baseball. Like I've gotten to know the Phillies and Diamondbacks pretty well just watching playoff games. I don't know anyone on the Nationals right now off the top of my head. Um, Not that I'm going to come up with in this video. Brewers must have played them at some point. I should be able to come up with someone, but not right now. Um, all right. I guess Steven Strasburg, 31%. 146 options here, 369 options here. But then a lot of them are just going to be guys who barely played. I was right. Zimmerman took the most. Jose Ramirez took the most. Jeter took the most. I don't know if you even said Jeter, but not surprising. Bieber is the highest here for sub 3 RA. Okay. Lowest one here was for the Nationals and Twins, where I pulled out Otis Nixon. Let's see if who would have been a better choice for both of these because like I'm not gonna hit myself too hard, but well, I mean, right away, all these guys currently play for the Nationals, and I'll be honest, I was not gonna come up with any of these people. I'll let you know when I come to a player that I feel even a little bit bad about not guessing. Actually, is Espinosa on here? No, he's not. All right. I have no idea what this ad is down here. Sorry. So I said Zimmerman and I said Strasburg. I said Espinoza maybe, but I wasn't courageous enough to wrongly guess him. Steve Rogers, okay. He's a pretty prominent pitcher, right? Oh, that's why his WAR was negative. Yeah, so Steve Rogers was probably that's probably one of the more prominent people I should have been able to. Well, I wasn't gonna say with any kind of confidence that he didn't play anywhere else. That's a tough category, man. I'm not gonna beat myself up too hard about not getting that. I mean, I feel a little bit bad that I can't name a single national who would have worked, but current national who would have worked, but I just don't know that team very well. And I don't know, for Cleveland, I went with Feller. There were apparently 370 options. I'm just gonna stop when I come to someone who I'm sure would have been better than Feller that I could have guessed. So far, there was a player named CC Lee. That's a fun mashup. Back-to-back Cy Young winners for Cleveland. So far, I've seen Zach Plesac. Okay, maybe I could have gotten him. Oh, Al Rosen I could have come up with. All right, Al Rosen I probably should have gotten. All right. Um, well, even there, maybe I don't know. I mean, he was pre-free agency, so it doesn't surprise me he didn't play anywhere else. Okay, baseball reference, changing it up, starting with 200. They started, debuting some new categories here. Um, for some reason, they're advertising grid number 164, which I'm quite sure I've played. But in any event, I'm going to stop sharing here. I'll play a couple more. Eddie, super commenter Eddie, left a suggestion for, I think it's like top 5 MVPs in the 2000s. So I might play some Sporkle either later on tonight or tomorrow. But until then, once again, these episodes are brought to you by my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. I haven't done the thing in a while. If I had a high value production, I'd have a thing in the screen and y'all see it. But this is just the actual book. The link is in the description. There's a lot of random musings in this book about some of the same stuff I talk about in my channel. So thanks a lot for playing, and we'll be back at it either later tonight or maybe tomorrow. Peace.